Good afternoon, students. I welcome you all for the class. Today, we are going to discuss another important topic in the third unit, that is the memory system. So, we are going to discuss today the associative memory. So, in the last class, we have seen regarding the RAM and ROM chip, how the RAM chip will be, how the ROM chip will be, what are the pins for the RAM and the ROM chip, and what are the tabular format, what are the read operation, write operation, chip select. So all the things we have seen in the last class, and today we are going to discuss this associative memory concept. So we have discussed many different types of memories, right? So already we have seen different types of memories. So what are the different memories we have seen? So we have seen the main important one is as you all know, the main one is main memory, next secondary memory, uh, and next cache memory. So these are the different memories you are aware of, and the next one is virtual memory. In spite of rather than these, we are having another important memory, that is associative memory. Associative memory, it is a very important concept. Why I'm telling you the important concept, in the sense, like an associative memory can be considered as a memory unit whose data, whose stored data can be identified for access by the content. So what I mean to say is, so if you are going with any other type of memory, so what you are having, like cache memory, main memory, secondary memory, like we are going to have different things to say. So when we are going to talk regarding this associative memory, so associative memory, in the sense, the main advantage of associative memory is we are going to access by the content but not with the address. So that is the major advantage of using the associative memory. Let me first suppose, if you, this is the main memory, fine, this is the main memory. So I have filled some data over here. This is main memory, and I have filled some data over here. So if I want to get this data, in the sense, like what you are going to require, you need to have an address of this particular memory location, right? So if you are going to have the address some 1050, so if you are going to have this address, then only you can access the data which is there in that particular memory location, right? So in cache memory or in main memory or whatever the memory may be, this is the thing we need to follow. So in order to fetch any type of data, or in order to fetch any type of information, what we are going to require is we are going to be require in need of its address where that particular information or particular data has been stored. So without this address, we can't identify among different memory locations. So that's the reason we are in need of address for each and every instruction that has been stored onto the memory. So this is the normal procedure, normal way of searching any particular data. But when it comes to the associative memory, so here what I am telling you is we don't need address. We don't need address. What we are in need of? We are in need of the content. So this is how we are going to search any particular data onto the associative memory. Suppose in your class, you are having your names, right? In order to identify you people, you are having your names. But identifying with the names is very much difficult. Why? Because like in the class, same class, two or three people will be having the same name. So picking up the necessary, or picking up the exact person is very difficult. So names is not very much suitable. So another identification for you people is it's your roll number, right? So as I am telling that it is your roll number, this roll number is unique. Everybody has a different roll number. No two roll numbers will be matching. So that is the unique identification number given to you in order to identify you, right? So when I am going to call a particular roll number, then it will be easy for me to find out a particular person. Suppose if 500 students are gathering, like all the departments, CSE, IT, EC, mechanical, all the departments are gathering. I need roll number. I need some X person. So if I call him with his name, many will be standing over there, right? So it is not at all a good thing in order to call with the name. So what is your unique identity you are having? Your identification is your roll number. So if you are 500 people, if you are 1,000 people, if I going to call you with the whole series, the branch number, the code, college code, along with your roll number, only one student will be standing among 500 or 600 people. Why? Because that is the uniqueness that is going to be provided for each and every student. So that is the unique identity we have given for the student. So that is the roll number. So here, what I mean to say is, so instead of fetching with the address, I'm going to fetch with the roll number. So this roll number is a unique identity. The content with the I am fetching. For example, if I want to fetch Abdul, fine, Abdul, Muhammad Abdul. If I want to fetch Muhammad Abdul, like I'll be going to uh, fetch only Abdul. So this is my content. So many will be matching, right? Many people with the name Abdul will be matching. So out of these, like if I am going to have the unique identity, suppose their initial or something else, if I have a unique identity, if I am matching with that, so then I can pick the right one. So that is the advantage of using the associative memory. Here the logic is very easy. Instead of fetching items with the memory addresses, like here we are going to fetch that with the data itself. So that data we are going to keep in that register, and we are going to match all the items with that register. So whatever the things are matching, so among all the matched, I'll be going to pick the required one. So that is how we are going to do the associative memory thing. So here, what is an associative memory? So associative memory, like we also call it as content addressable memory. What is that? It is a content addressable memory. Why I am telling you that it is a content addressable memory, in the sense, so with the content only I am going to identify the things, fine. Here, so that is the first advantage. So with the content only I'll be going to match the things. And the second advantage of associative memory is, suppose if we want to store any particular item in the memory, so we need not give the address. Previously, if we want to store, suppose STA 2060, I'm giving STA is 2060, in the sense, store accumulator. Whatever the contents that are there in the accumulator, you store those contents of accumulator in 2060 memory location, like that the statement is going to be meant for. But here, when it comes to the associative memory, so here what it is going to do is, here we are not going to specify the address over here. So the associative memory itself is going to check for the empty spaces. So suppose this is the memory location we are having. So all are filled and this is an empty one. So the associative memory itself is going to search for the empty spaces. Whichever the empty space encounter first, so the data is going to be stored in that particular empty space. So here we are not going to provide any sort of addresses in order to store the data. So that is the major advantage of associative memory. We are not going to provide addresses, and here we are going to search anything by making use of the content, but not with the memory addresses. So here the memory itself is capable of finding an empty, unused location to store the word. That is the advantage of this associative memory. Suppose, on the other hand, suppose when the word is to be read from an associative memory, the content of the word or a part of the word is specified. Here we need to specify the whole content. So suppose if I want to search associative array in this whole page. So I can give an array, or I can specify associative array. Either of the things I can give. So whatever the things that are going to be matched with this associative array will be listed over here. Out of this, I'll be going to pick my exact one what I am in need of. So that is the advantage of using this. So here the content of the word or a part of a word should be specified. So here then the words which match the specified content are located by the memory and are marked for reading. Then the reading is going to be done. So this is how the associative memory concept is going to be have. So see here, as I have said you, associative memory is a unit whose stored data can be identified by accessing the content. With the content only, we are going to identify the data. So associative memory is also called as CAM. What is the full form of CAM? The full form of CAM is content addressable memory. Why it got a name content addressable memory? In the sense, instead of fetching with the addresses, we are going to fetch with the content, we are going to fetch with the data, we are going to fetch with the information. So that's the reason why we have given the name as associative memory. So when a write operation is performed, an associative memory, no address or memory location is given. As I have said you, we are not going to specify any memory location. Here the associative memory itself is capable of finding an empty unused location to store that particular word. And another thing is, when the word is to be read from an associative memory, here what we have to give, the content of the word or a part of the word, either of the thing we can give. So if we have given this, then it is going to be uh, fetched. It is whatever the things are matched, all those are going to be listed over there. So this is the diagram that shows the representation of an associative memory. So when we are going to talk regarding this associative memory, here you have to make point that we are going to make use of augment register, key register, and this associative memory logic, and the match register. So four things we are going to be we are going to make use of. So augment register, in the sense, whatever the content we want to search, that content we are going to fetch in the augment register. So here in this augment register, suppose I want to place Anita. I want to place Anita, but can the computer understands Anita? No, it doesn't understand the human language. It has to be converted into some binary language, so that the binary information is going to be placed in this augment register. So that is the purpose of augment register. So here whatever the information we need to fetch, that is going to be converted into binary format, and that binary information is going to be placed in this augment register. So this augment register contains the binary information or coded information. Then the key register. What is the purpose of the key register? Here the purpose of the key register, suppose here this is 8 bits, 101. So this is 8 bits. So this is some information. So here the key register, what is the key register is going to do is, the key register is going for masking and unmasking. If the key register contains all zeros, then there is, if a key register contains all zeros in the sense, then no matching will be done. Then no matching will be done. If when or in the key register, whichever the places is, if the key register is having all ones, if key register is having all ones, all ones in the sense, all the contents are matched, all the contents are matched. If the key register is having only two ones, wherever the one is there, that place only is going to be matched. Suppose for example, take the information here, 1010100. Now the key register is 0101010. 0. The key register is this one. So here whenever the 0 is there here, then there is no matching. Whenever the 1 is there, in the sense this 1 is going to be matched with 0. Here this one is going to be matched with 0. So wherever the 1 is there, that places are only going to be matched with this associative array logic. Suppose here uh, 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. These are the items in the associative memory logic. Here 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 0, and next one 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So these are the three items that are stored in the, for example, these are the three items that are matched with the argument, found. So here the key register value, second position is having 1, third position, fourth position is having 1, and this position is also having 1. Whichever the places we are having 1, so second position is 0. So this second position 0 is matched with all the three. So here second position is 1, so it is invalid. Second position is 0, it is valid. Second position is 0, it is valid. Next, fourth position, fourth position is 0 again. So fourth position is 1, so it is invalid. So fourth position is 0, it is valid, and this is also valid. And is sixth position is 0. Sixth position is 0 over here. And next, suppose here 1 in the sense last position is 0. Here last position is 1, this is going to be wrong, and here last position is 0. So this bit is going to be set. In this match register, corresponding this bit is going to be set to 1. Remaining all bits, remaining 2 bits are set to 0. This is how the associative memory is going to be matching. So augment register, in the sense whatever the information we want to search, that information we are going to keep it in the argument register. Fine. And the key register here, the functional registers, we call those as argument register and the key register. We call these two as functional registers. These two as functional register. Here the match register M consists of M bits, one for each memory word. So that is the advantage of match register. Here the words which are kept in the memory are compared, not only one by one. Here whatever the things that are kept in memory are compared in parallel with the content of the argument register. These memory contents are going to be compared in parallel. All the three will be compared in parallel with what? Compared in parallel what? Argument register. Fine. So here the key register K provides a mask for choosing. So as I have said, you masking in the sense whatever the places we are having 1, those bits are going to be compared. If all the key register bits are 1, then whole content will be compared. Or else whatever the places we are having 1, the corresponding position of the key register is going to be compared. Thus the key provides a mask for identifying a piece of information which specifies how the references to the memory is going to be made. So this is how the a block diagram or the representation of associative memory is going to be done. Here if you want to perform the read operation, so from here we'll be going to read. Write operation also we can do. So reading and writing can be performed in the associative memory logic also. So this is how the block diagram representation of associative memory is going to be done. So here this is the theory part. As I have said you, the functional registers are argument registers and the key registers. The words which are kept in the memory are compared in parallel with the content of the argument register. The key register provides a masking, like which bits to compare. If the key register contains all ones, then the entire argument is compared. Otherwise, only those bits that the arguments have ones in their corresponding position are going to be compared. So that is how the working of this associative memory is going to be done. And this is the diagram that is going to show the relationship between the memory array and the external registers. So internally each associative memory has a logic. So that logic is going to be represented like cells. So here associative memory consists of m words and n cell per words. Fine. M words it is going to have the cells present inside the memory array are marked by this letter C. Here all the C's are marked by the letter C. Like the C marked letter is going to be there. Here we are going to have two subscripts I and J. So the subscript I and subscript J. Here the subscript, the first subscript gives the word number. First subscript gives the word number and the second specifies the bit position. Second sub specifies bit position. Which word? Suppose word is Anita and bit position in the sense suppose N or A or something like this. That is the bit position. For instance, the cell Cij. Here the cell Cij is there, the cell for bit J in word I. So this argument register is compared with all bits in the column J. Fine. So and then the array is going to be provided. This process is going to be repeated for all the columns, that is J equals to 1, J equals to 2, J equals to 3 till n. If a match is occurring between the unmasked bits, the arguments and the bits, the corresponding m bit in the match register is set to 1. So if any match form, this match logic is set to 1. If match doesn't form, it is going to set to 0. So if one or more unmasked bits of the argument and the word do not match, then MI is clear to 0. So this is how the concept of this associative memory is going to be done. So this is the important concept. Here the applications is we can be used in database systems. Why? Because in database, like you will be going to have many number of names. So if you want to compare one name, means if you want to get one name in the sense, many will be coming. So in database, this associative memory is going to be much useful. So advantages is the search time needs to be very less. So when we want the search time to be less, then we are going for this associative memory, and we can do a parallel searches when we are going to make use of associative memory. So if you are searching parallelly, automatically the speed up of is going to be increased. So it is used in page tables used by virtual memory and also the neural network. So these are the main advantages of having the associative memory. So when it comes to the associative memory drawbacks, so it is very expensive. Why? Because each and every cell needs to have a logic. Comparison logic should be there. Without that logic, we can't compare the item. So installing that logic, it is very difficult and very expensive. So that is the drawback of this associative memory. Each cell must have storage capability. So without storing, we can't compare the things. And logic circuits like flip-flops we are going to use for matching the content with the external argument register. So this is how the associative memory concept is going to be done. So here you have to keep in mind that when we are going to talk regarding this associative memory, so here two things we have to remind. That is, the first one is like instead of comparing with the addresses, here we are going to check with the content itself. So that is the key point we have to remember in this associative memory. Fine. And that's all for today's class, students. So and we'll be going to meet in the next session. Thank you all, students. Have a good day.